Welcome friends and subscribers. I appreciate you clicking on this video. Now, for the new people that clicked on this video, I bet you were expecting something negative, huh? Halo. For a while, I have been thinking of different Halo topics to talk about. Everyone did it, to death. I wanted to tell something no one has heard before, and then a light bulb hit me. I could tell you my Halo experience, my very first playthrough. This was at least 9 years ago, so it could be all confabulation. You'll never know. Enjoy! It was a summer day, a hot summer day, where Ahsoka on Earth was somewhere between the ages of 8 or 9. When my brother brought down 3 game cases from my dad's closet, displaying them on the floor. The first was Ghost Recon. Great game, by the way. The second one was Soldier of Fortune. Not so much of a great game. The third was An Empty Case of Shell Shock. And lastly, Call of Duty. Oh wait, did I forget to mention? Halo. And when I looked at that cover and saw that tall green soldier guy fighting alien spaceships, I knew I was cursed to fall in love with this game. But there was a small problem. I didn't want to play it at all. I refused to play it. And the reason, you ask? I was afraid this green guy would make me forget Star Wars ever existed. That it would become my new favorite franchise. Logic of an 8-year-old. But after refusing to play it for a few weeks, my brother was going to play it without me.
Unacceptable! Absolutely unacceptable!
So there I was, watching the Xbox boot up and hearing the Halo theme for the very first time. And then Naked Hologram Lady. Now being on a futuristic militaristic spaceship was so cool. And it's funny looking back, because I never even considered that there'd be more to Halo than the Pillar of Autumn. Everything about the aliens were colorful and mysterious, and no, you can't tell me I was the only one that attempted to paint an entire hall inside the Autumn Purple. Spoilers, it didn't work, and it still doesn't work, and that sucks. So, we continued this mission. Remind you, this was on split-screen Xbox. Getting lost inside these tunnel things. I totally forget what they were. But anyway, possibly getting jump-scared by grunts or each other, we finally made it out of there. And as we close in towards the mission's end, we got a try at the grenades! Grenades! Remind you, I wasn't as good of a pro back then. One cutscene later, we land on Halo.
We're gonna make it, aren't we, sir? I don't want to die out here!
Also, I just want to mention, there is a theory that it's kind of the MasterChief's fault all these Marines are dead.
You sure you wouldn't rather take a seat?
We'll be fine.
Bro, you know what happened last time, just drive careful, please!
Let me know in the comments if you believe that's true. When you first step onto real soil, it's impossible to miss the skybox, the Halo ring. In a way, this mission was more of a first impression than the last mission. Rendezvousing with the Marines, driving a Warthog for the first time, thinking the triangle in the middle was a location marker, I'm not kidding. Getting stuck in dark, scary tunnels that aren't natural formations.
This cave is not a natural formation.
You didn't have to cut me off.
For whatever reason, when I was young, I used to think this place over here was like an alien gas station, which only made it more terrifying. Also, I'm pretty sure it took hours to figure out where the Marines were hiding. But yes, the mission Halo was a beautiful and perfect mission to fall in love with Halo's atmosphere. When we round up that mission with a completion, we were on to the next mission, Truth and Reconciliation.
What? There's no covenant here. Think maybe nobody's home.
No covenant.
A mission with snipers, nighttime mountain terrain, first time fighting the hunters in endless looping corridors. If it was possible to get lost, we did it, probably 3 times in the same place. But in time, we finished this mission too, moving on to the next, the Silent Cartographer. Pushing through beaches, getting stuck behind doors, fighting more hunters, walking around creepy interior. You know something I loved so much about Halo that a lot of games I played around that time didn't have? Good lighting, like really good lighting, like look at this. It's so bright and seeable, even in the grey interiors. I'm looking at you, Halo Free ODST. Next up, the mission was Assault on the Control Room. And this mission had become both of our favorites, and for good reason. I mean, it still might be my favorite Halo 1 mission. Gently booping some grunts on the nose while miraculously dodging our elite friends. Driving warthogs, fighting over who drives the tank. Fun fact, I think it was on the 4th playthrough I was fast enough to claim the Scorpion. What's not to love about this level? It being probably the largest campaign mission with the most drivable vehicles and constant changing terrain, possibly competing with that of the second mission, Halo. I'd like to hear what mission was your personal favorite in Halo 1. So let me know in the comments. And really, I've only started speaking on the first half's behalf of this mission. That's right. After many interior sweeps, we are rewarded with piloting the first ever Halo aircraft.
Analyzing. This must be the control room. The entrance to the control center is at the top of that pyramid structure. Bring me up there and I should be able to get us inside.
This part always stood out as one of my favorites, not just taking out everything in the Banshee, but also the awesome music that played in the last big fight. Also, I don't think either of us got to use the Banshee in the first playthrough, because Fred over here stole it. You can thank Fred for that. But you see, I was smart, really smart. I wasn't about to reload to the last checkpoint. No, I used my big brain.
We took out enemies on the top platform, right? Then we'd slowly pick off all enemies on the bottom, so we were completely safe.
Then I'd pull off my big brain move by making a calculated jump at precisely the right time. I'd land perfectly, of course. Also, I forgot to mention, it's a little thing I forgot to mention, there's actually a door on the other side of the ramp, but I only realized it was there like on the 10th playthrough, so let's just forget about that. And still don't use it because who needs a door, am I right? We pushed through the ending of this level, and we were on to the next. And the next mission is the reason I made this entire video, really. 343 Guilty Spark, a mission that needs no introduction for Halo fans familiar with Halo, but I'm going to introduce it anyway. At first, what seemed to be a normal mission, who am I kidding? You know from the start, this is no normal mission. Like, what do you mean well enough alone? I'm not going into your swamps. Last time I went into a swamp, nothing good came out of it. Hell no. I made a miscalculation. I was too busy committing friendly fire and getting pummeled to notice the atmosphere of the swamp, to realize something was wrong, very wrong. I was too busy trying to get the last kill. I was too busy watching my back to make sure I didn't get a sticky grenade to my face that I missed an important detail, a very important detail. Now again, anyone that has played this mission will remember this Marine right here. Let's call him Sean. Well, Sean gets a little freaked out and starts shooting you while he drops some important dialogue.
Stay back! Stay back! You're not turning me into one of those things! Don't touch me, you freaks! I won't be like you, I'll die first! Find your own hiding place, the monsters are everywhere! Play dead! That's what I did. Play dead. They took the live ones. Oh god, I can still hear them. Monsters! Ah! 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 The things took them. Away, 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 they went away. Oh god, I don't want to be like them, please. Please no. Please no.
But the funny thing is, when I got shot, I instantly thought it was my brother. So I started throwing grenades and it turned into a big friendly fire skirmish, and we completely missed everything the Marine said. In fact, we never even realized he existed until we saw him later in a YouTube video. So, completely oblivious to the hints Halo keeps sending, creepy atmosphere, scared enemies, Marines dropping very important details, we even accidentally skipped the Johnson Festival. So other than having a feeling of impending doom, I really had no clue what I was about to face. Something so frightening that I only knew it by one term. Popcorn aliens. Now, I could go on about the nightmares these little space zombies gave me forever, but I won't, don't worry. And with some brotherly motivation and a little dose of FOMO, I was able to complete this mission, quite happy with myself for being able to push through the flood together. And remember kids, face your fears. That is, of course, unless your fear is killer clowns. Maybe don't face them. We finished that mission with our excitement intact for the next mission in Halo. Somehow. A mission in Halo, notorious for its long, endless, giant passageways and its long, notorious... You know what? That's pretty much this entire mission. But I never have really hated this mission, to be completely honest. Unless that is, I'm playing through it alone. But that's a different story. This is just assault on the control room backwards and at night and with the flood. And you have to become a masochist to finish the mission or something. Pretty cool we get to see the Covenant fight the flood though. But I know all the questions you have, so... Who is the two betrayers? The two dirty backstabbers? Well...
We know Guilty Spark is one of them. But what about the second? I heard somewhere the original idea was for Cortana to betray Chief. I'm glad she didn't though. But what if it's not just stating a prior idea? I heard some people suggest other betrayals against the player, against Chief, but the Prophet is leading the Covenant. I think that's interesting, but I really like this idea too.
That mission wrapped up, we were on to keys. This mission was my least favorite, and it has every right to be. Remember when I said how much I appreciate Halo's good lighting? Well, scratch that! This level has some of the worst outdoor lighting in Halo ever! More confusing hallways, at least for a first playthrough. Oh, I also want to just mention that this is actually a real jump scare. I didn't even try to... I actually didn't know he was behind me. Constant respawning flood, but as soon as keys passed the mission, that is, or both I guess, we were on to the climax, the final curtain. While the camera pans over a large, desolate land that spans on until the eye can see and sweeps up for us to see the Pillar of Autumn.
I remember always being curious if the destruction to the land was done by the spaceship's crash, or it happened to crash in a part of Halo that was mostly barren. I even heard there it was the flood taking over the land. Either way, it definitely wraps up this level with a very apocalyptic vibe that feels oddly perfect for Halo.
Back where we started all those weeks or possibly months ago, no longer that smooth, militaristic shine, but now an empty husk of what had been the start. Also, I don't think I even got to mention, but I genuinely really love fighting the Sentinels, especially in Halo 1. It didn't quite get the same feel in Halo 2. Oh, so we pass through the corpse of the Autumn, gather ammo, grenades, rocket launchers, any explosives we can get our hands on. We're moving closer to the final stretch. We also have to figure out how to climb ladders for the first time. I don't remember quite how that went, but I'm positive we didn't get it on the first try. Or maybe just me. We managed to take out every reactor. I may have gotten stuck inside one of them. We may have reset the entire game. But after that, we rushed to an elevator where we kill an elite that actually has an appearance in a complete backstory in a Halo book, which is honestly really awesome. But finally, we arrive at the last stretch.
Noisy down there. Everything okay? Negative. We have a wildcat destabilization of the ship's fusion core. The engines must have sustained more damage than we thought.
Analyzing. We have 6 minutes before the fusion drives detonate. We need to evac now. Activating final countdown time. The engines will detonate. The explosion will generate a temperature of almost 100 million degrees. Don't be there when it blows.
The Warthog Run. Oh my gosh, was this edge of your seat intense. There's never been quite the feeling of that last run I've ever experienced in a game since. Watching Echo 419 go down was actually pretty sad, even if she wasn't an overly developed character. I did want her to survive, and that scene is still sad to this day, even though now I just zoom past without stopping.
Good thing that food nipple's waiting for me at the starship, cause man, if I worked up a big, crunchy thirst!
But after minutes of intense driving, making insane jumps, dodging obstacles, we fail. Yeah, we fail over and over and over again. And we kept failing until we gave up. We didn't retry the level for a good while. But when we did try one more time, guess who was driving? That's right, your girl Ahsoka on Earth. I actually don't know who was driving. But that last stretch, that last drive, that run to the longsword, you just stop breathing and the screen turns white as the last seconds count down, and you wait, not knowing if you had made it, only to see the cutscene play out, filling you with a deep sense of accomplishment, teamwork, and a powerful love for this beautiful franchise that is Halo.
We did what we had to do for Earth. An entire Covenant armada obliterated, and the Flood. We had no choice. Halo, it's finished.
No, I think we're just getting started.
I want to thank everyone who made it this far in the video. I truly appreciate you so much. And I'm glad I could hold your attention for as long as I did. If there's anyone new watching, please go check out my new Halo fanfic animations that all came from my deep love of this franchise, and don't forget to leave a comment. I also want to say that I am working on an animation right now, and it should be out after this video is complete. Thank you.